Hello and welcome to another Rightly Witterings with me, Michael Jecks, the tea drinking author with no cup of tea, not even a cup of coffee, but in 20 minutes I'll be having a coffee, so that's all good. Right, today. Well, I thought I was going to talk about my three favourite pocket pens currently, because these things do change. Now, over the years I've collected a number of really lovely pens. I've got some disappearing nib versions of platinums. I've got oodles of Viscontis, Conway Stewarts, quite a lot of other pens, and every now and again there's a pen that grabs my attention. Now I love Kavekos for carrying around. They're convenient, they're small, they're delightful to write with, they're always reliable. I never use them as eyedroppers because I've seen too many problems coming across with eyedroppers, but they're lovely pens to use. But they don't quite fall into the category of pens that I want to use all the time. So I've got my three favourites here. Two old, one new. So let's have a look at the oldest one first. This is a Conway Stewart Model 58. It is petite, although when you cap it, it's a good size. I think it's very elegant. I love black acrylic for a fountain pen. It looks good. I like the fact that it has gold trim. I think it looks elegant. I think it looks perfectly in keeping for the period, sort of 1920s, 30s. And I love the fact that it's got a simple filling mechanism with a lever. So trying to show how you do this, you just pull the lever out, pull it out to 90 degrees, dunk it in some ink, push the lever back again, and there's a rubber sack inside here, and there's a little plate so that when you pull the lever out like that, it flattens the sack. Thereby, when you put the lever back, it creates a vacuum as the sack expands to suck up ink. There's a downside to that, which is you need to leave it in your ink for a certain amount of time so that the rubber or silicone, whatever it is, sack can gradually expand, because it's fighting against gravity, pulling ink up into it. But it's just an elegant, simple, very tactile, lovely pen to use, and I absolutely adore it. The new edition I've got to talk about is this, which is my little Colo. I forget what they actually call it, but they call it a Tino, from Paper Republic. And I love this because, again, very tactile. It looks as though it shouldn't be comfortable to use, but it's fabulously comfortable to use. It has a very simple cap system, and that turns it into a really good sized pen. The design is such that the nib is always in the perfect position when your thumb's resting on the side here. That's all good. It's weighty, it feels good in the hand, it feels good in your pocket. I've never had any problem with leakage or anything else. It's a simple cartridge based system, no cartridge converter I'm afraid as it stands, but it just takes an ordinary universal ink cartridge and you can see how much ink there is in it. It's a really simple, lovely, solid brass package. And I love it. It's also very good that it won't roll off a desk very easily, but if it's a slippery surface it might slide off. But that is another very convenient and absolutely delightful pen to use. But a couple of years ago I decided I wanted something a bit different, and I bought this, the Pineda. And I bought this specifically for going out and sketching and taking notes while out and about. Sketching. So I wanted an extra fine nib, which this is. It's a steel nib, nothing extraordinary about it, but as a pen I wanted something bright and garish, so if I dropped it in a field full of grass I'd be able to find the pen again. This works perfectly well. I wanted something that would have a cartridge converter, so I could, if I wanted, put in an ink cartridge or just leave it with a cartridge converter. This is Diamine's Pumpkin, which I haven't used for ages, but it's just lovely to play with again. Why do I love this? Well, because it's a simple magnetic cap, which is in its own right enough to irritate a lot of people in a shop. It has a mechanical clip, which I like, and it also has its own little system for allowing you to personalize it. You, with the pen, get a series of little discs which can have your nation's flag, they can have your star sign, they can have your initials, and then a little plastic bubble, and you put the little disc in here, press the bubble onto it, and it holds it all in place for a while. And then, as I've discovered, the damn things always fall out, so if you buy one of these intending to personalise it, glue the bubble in place. Personally, I don't really care. A bit of personalising like that is nice. I might just glue the bubble in place without any personalisation underneath it. Haven't decided yet. It fell out only fairly recently. I don't know where it went, but these bubbles with the personalising bits have fallen out far too regularly for me to recommend this for that kind of thing. But this pen was on a sale at the time, so the pen was only £45. It cost me £80 or £90 eventually, with postage and tax and everything else. But that's actually still, I think, good value for a pen of this quality, apart from that aspect. Why? Because it's a superb writer, it's ideal for sketching, it's got an extra fine nib which is frankly brilliant, and I love it. So here we have the three pens. How do I rank them? Well, you know, that's really difficult. When I'm out and about, this pen for sketching is the best of the three. Why? Because it's got an extra fine nib. I also like the fact that it is full size, so it fits your hand without having to cap it, post it rather. I love the magnetic cap. It just means it's so quick and easy to get your pen out and start doing something. So there's a lot of aspects of that which make it perfect for when I'm out and about sketching. These two aren't, because both of these are medium nibs. So these two are much more direct competitors with each other in reality. Now, I love the Conway Stewart because this is a pen, it's got a broad nib, and this is a pen that I can take out when I'm going to meetings. It takes no space at all in my pocket. If I run out of ink, I love the fact that it's got the lever action. It's a very quick pen to refill. It feels lovely in the hand. I think it looks really elegant. I like the flare at the bottom of the section so that your fingers don't slide onto the nib and get all messy. It's just a really practical pen. I love having that clip, which makes it, again, really effective. The cap is only a turn and a bit, so it doesn't take terribly long to open it. When I say that, I have other pens one should be here but isn't. Let me just check. I've got it in this pocket. Nope, I haven't. There are other pens such as my Bastion, which I love and which is usually in my pocket, but that has, I think it's 3 turns to take the cap off, which is just that bit too much. This I adore. It is much heavier than this. It comes with its own little sleeve, which I think is rather nice. No clip means that I only take it in my cargo trousers, which has a zip-up pocket. But if I'm out and about, it's not just a fully functioning, effective pen, it's also a bit of a conversation piece. I mean, when you see one of these out in the open, in the wild as it were, that is something rather splendidly different. I love it to write with. It is extremely comfortable. Didn't expect it to be. I really did think it was going to be not the best in the world, but it feels absolutely gorgeous, and it writes superbly, as they all do. I have no problems with any of these. So, in summary, these are definitely my 3 favourites for taking around with me all the time. This is convenient and I adore it for the weight and the fact it writes so superbly. I won't bother mentioning the writing, they all work superbly well, so that's irrelevant. This, as a conversation piece, as a comfortable writer, and just simply because of the fact it's solid brass and so massive, so weighty, I love it. This is slightly more practical. I like the fact that I can refill it from a bottle, so I can fill it in the morning, it'll last all day, hopefully, for just taking notes, not for serious writing efforts, because the reservoir in the ink sac is not huge, but it's just a lovely pen to look at and to use. So it is one of my favourites for just having in my pocket all day long, because it's light, it sits in my shirt pocket, the clip, being a Conway Stewart clip, works enormously well. So yeah, really there's nothing to dislike. And the nice thing about the 58s is that they've got a variety of different versions now. I believe they've got cartridge converter version. They have some which are designed with a sort of naval symbol on the front, which is rather nice. But I like the simplicity of this one. This is actually a special edition. It's the Indiana Jones special edition, because in the film, which was I think the last one, there was a section when Sean Connery, yeah, it must have been the 3rd film, not the last one, but Sean Connery was in it, and he said that he proved the pen was mightier than the sword by using a pen of this type with the lever and squirting ink into the face of a nasty German soldier, and thereby allowing them to be rescued from being kidnapped. What a silly bit of wittering, but I just love it. It is a gorgeous looking pen. Slightly different is the Pineda. I would say out of the 3, this is more of my standard workhorse type of pen, because I will use it for going out and about sketching, as well as using it for just taking notes. For notes, I'll say this, I mean, my writing style is a bit larger, so having an extra fine nib doesn't look that nice. It's okay when I'm just making notes in a little notebook when I'm out and about. I can bear that, but I wouldn't use this as a general writing pen. For that, it would have to be a medium or a broad. basically because my writing looks like a drunken spider has sat in a pool of ink and then crawled across the page when I use an extra fine nib. But all that aside, this is still just about my favourite pen for sketching. So there you have it. That's just some thoughts on 3 of my favourite pocketable portable pens. I'll be interested to know what you reckon. So put any comments you want down the bottom, and I'll read them with interest, because I always do read and I try to respond to every comment as well. But that's all for now, folks. I've got to go. I've got to crack on with this book. I am currently writing a book which is going to come out with the wonderful title of Crusaders' War, which is the second half of Pilgrim's War. Pilgrim's War took us up as far as Constantinople and just over the water. Crusaders' War is taking us all the way through past Antioch and to Jerusalem, so it's quite a lot of battle scenes in it. And I've just noticed that there's a book has fallen on the floor, and I'm hoping the dog hasn't eaten it. So I'm going to go. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope that was interesting. If you enjoy these videos, do please hit the like and subscribe and alert bells before you go. And having done all that, if you want to support me, you can go to Patreon, all those things. If you're interested in one of the Conway Stewart range, there is a link down the bottom which will give you a lovely discount. But apart from that, I'm off now. Take care, see you soon, and let's hope my book's safe.